In 2018, Stripe published a report stating that developers spend up to 42% of their time dealing with tech debt, and that developer inefficiency is losing $300 billion in global GDP annually. In this video, you will learn what technical debt is, and if you stick around until the end, I will explain a few essential ways how to deal with technical debt effectively. I'm Leonard. As an engineering manager, I regularly help people without an engineering background to understand complex technical concepts. With this video, I help you to understand the engineers you're working with better, increase your productivity, and the overall impact you can have on your product. You might have heard this term before, especially if you work in software development or engineering. But what exactly is technical debt? Imagine that you're building a house. You have a plan and you follow it step by step to create a solid and beautiful structure. As you work, you make sure to use high quality materials and follow the right building codes and standards. However, halfway through the project, you realize that you need more time and resources. To meet your deadline, you cut some corners and use cheaper or lower quality materials. You can skip some important steps or ignore building codes to save time. This is the equivalent of taking on technical debt in software development. Instead of building a solid and reliable piece of software, you decide to take shortcuts and sacrifice quality to get the job done faster. At first, this might not seem like a big deal. After all, you could meet your deadline and deliver the software to your client. But just like with a house, taking shortcuts and ignoring important steps can lead to serious problems down the road. It is also difficult to maintain or expand it in the future, because it was not built on a solid foundation. This means that you or your team will have to spend more time and effort fixing and improving the software, instead of working on new and exciting features. Over time, the more tech debt you accumulate, the slower the development will be, and the more frustration will come up in the team when the deadlines are coming closer. We have all seen projects where developing a simple feature takes a ridiculous amount of time. In some cases, only a complete rewrite of the software will save the project, which of course is connected to a very high cost. A CodeScene white paper estimates that the average organization wastes 23 to 42% of the development time due to technical debt. This is an incredible amount of time wasted on work that doesn't add new features to your product. Managing technical debt properly and increasing your efficiency can have a dramatic impact on your product. In other words, taking on technical debt is like borrowing time and resources from the future. It might help you in the short term, but in the long run, it can create more problems and make it harder or even impossible to reach your goals. Every project will have a certain amount of technical debt, which is normal. But what can you do to avoid too much technical debt or manage it effectively? I will now give you 5 points that are essential to deal with technical debt productively. An honest look. It is important to recognize when you are taking on technical debt. This means being honest with yourself and your team about the quality and reliability of the software you are building. You can only manage and improve what you know and openly talk about. Realizing and discussing the current state of your project is the first step. Keeping track. It is crucial to have a way to keep track of all the tech debt in a structured way. This can be an epic in Jira or just a list somewhere keeping track of all the tech debt. Most of the tech debt is only known to the developers writing the code, so it is important to facilitate a habit of immediately writing down tech debt as soon as it is encountered or accepted during development. Proper planning. This is obvious, but with good planning and prioritization of your work, you can avoid taking on tech debt in the first place. This means ensuring that you have enough time and resources to build high-quality software and not rushing to meet unrealistic deadlines. Every project will have tech debt, and sometimes it is good to move faster, try out things, and come back later to clean up. But taking on tech debt should always be conscious and transparent to be able to manage it properly afterwards. Taking time. A good rule of thumb is that when you have accumulated some tech debt, continuously take some time out of the feature development and give the engineers some freedom to take on tech debt. It can be anything from 10 to 50% of the planned work, depending on your situation. Occasionally, it is also necessary to spend 100% of your attention on removing tech debt. Communication. Communicate openly and honestly with your clients and stakeholders. This means explaining the risks and trade-offs of taking on technical debt and working together to find the best solutions for everyone. A good practice can be to inform stakeholders regularly, maybe in your monthly plannings, in a more visual way. A simple idea is to use a traffic light system. Green means that everything is on track and technical debt is not affecting us in any serious way. Yellow means that we are dealing with some effects of our technical debt, which is already slowing us down. Red means that we urgently need to focus on removing tech debt. Otherwise, the productivity and maybe the product is in danger. In conclusion, technical debt is a common problem in software development, but it's important to recognize and manage it properly. By following best practices and communicating openly, you can avoid the pitfalls of technical debt and build high quality and reliable software. Technical debt is not merely a house cleaning chore, it is a fundamental issue that works like an anchor to slow down any tech-driven initiative. Companies that take the time to address it thoughtfully and carefully will be the ones best able to harness technology and drive revenue and innovation at scale. If you have more questions or sentences you don't understand, please comment them under this video and maybe I can answer them or make a future video about them. Did you know that Ward Cunningham, the person who coined the term technical debt, has a law attributed to him? Cunningham's law. The best way to get the right answer on the internet is not to ask a question. It is to post the wrong answer. I think this is very true. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if this video helped you, consider subscribing and taking a look at the other videos I've made.